We have done many comparisons featuring these three bucks over the past 7 years or so. But this matchup is the most important one. Dorian Yates, 1997, 2007, Ronnie King Coleman, 2013, Jay Cutler. In all three cases, this is their last time on the Olympia stage. So this is the final call out for all three of these guys. 1997, Dorian, he won the Olympia. 2007, Ronnie King Coleman, he placed second the year prior. And in 2007, what did he get? Fifth? No. Fourth, right? I think so. And Jay Cutler received sixth place. And the funny thing is, here, folks and folkettes, to put this in a little bit of context, I guess. I'm trying to use some big words here. You gotta help me out. Here's how old these three blokes were, I believe. And you'll have to excuse me if I'm wrong. It's off by a year or what have you, depending on the time of year of their birthdays. But I believe they were all this age. And Dorian, he was still a young man. Was he not 35? If he was 36, I apologize. He must have just turned 36. But yes, look at Ronnie's age, 43. Keep in mind, he was the Olympia champion 2 years prior. 41 years old, Olympia champion. Jay Cutler, 40. And realistically, he looks like he's in the best shape. Midsection, his condition's in. Not really missing anything. We know Dorian, his bicep. We can see the lat for Ronnie Coleman, torn a little bit. The midsection of Dorian, that's a little out of whack. We'll see how it progresses. Go to the front double biceps pose. Dorian, I said for... never mind. That's terrible. That's terrible. I was gonna say double. He's only given us one. But then I looked at the one that he is giving us, and that don't look all too hot either. So that definitely affects the entire matchup, in my opinion. Some will argue and say, but Max, moron, it's only one pose. Well, I mean, come on. The Elephant Man, I mean, it's only one angle that he looks hideous, but, bend him over and you're still gonna know what he looks like. And I'm not suggesting that. Never mind. So Dorian, he places last, obviously, in the front dub. And Ronnie the King Coleman, aside from the midsection here, he is a shadow of himself, and keep in mind, a shadow, even a mere glimpse, a pan back mirror image blurred up of Ronnie Coleman is still going to defeat just about everybody. Jay, he's a little downsized. He is a little downsized than he was a few years prior to this, but he looks like he's in good condition for 40 years old. He brought a pretty decent package, and in some ways he is winning, but I mean, in other ways, Ronnie is. Poor Dorian. Now let's see if the Yates man, go to the front lat spread here, let's see if he can gain some ground. Obviously, this is his strongest pose. And when you think about it, a good pose for Ronnie and Jay. Not in 2007, though, for Ronnie. He knew his lat was torn, so he really tried to go turtle. Kind of looks funny. And then you get Jay. He's giving us what he has. And it looks pretty good. So, good old Jay Cutler. Not bad. Is he doing enough to defeat Ronnie? I think so, even though Ronnie, he is full of just bovine muscle. Just a big bull. Of course, Dorian, he is pretty much prime Dorian Yates in a lot of these shots, except for that arm. And even here, look at his arm compared to Ronnie's. Even Jay has a bigger set of guns. I bet you Dorian, the smallest arm measurement of any Olympia champion. You think he beats Dickerson? You gotta measure the smallest one. Of course, Dickerson had a torn one too, so... yeah. Sorry, Yates, you don't get that record. But he does, in fact, win this front lat spread. So, Jay Cutler, he could win the matchup with a bunch of second prizes. He's battling it out for first, and all of the shots, we'd have to give it to him. Turn to the side. And again, Jay Cutler might not be the most muscular, not the most conditioned either, but he brings everything together and, not bad. Ronnie looks like a great big cow again. Dorian, he's a bit of a cow himself. Great big bull head, neck, and I can hear you guys now. But Mark's max muscle, you should use this picture. This is a decent side chest of Yates, but the angle is off. So I think this one here, we can really see the goods and services that this man brought. Coleman, he's just a big cow. And Jay, again, not the biggest stud here, but he is posing to perfection. And like I said, he could swoop in and get a victory. Here's the side tricep. Now mechanically, Yates every bit as good as he was in his prime. Look at that. Midsection's a little bit thicker, I'll admit. But still, not bad. Especially compared to Coleman there. A little bit off was he. Looks like he's laboring. Does not look like he's having a good night whatsoever. Jay Cutler, on the other hand, he looks like a guy having a good time. He's out there for a good time. I think he had a guaranteed 6th place. They told him, you're going to beat Ramy. Don't worry. Don't you worry. So, still kind of up in the air, I guess, this matchup. Go to the back shot. And if you are a Colemanite, you may not want to watch these two poses. Now, lower half, I'll admit, Coleman's, he's winning. Glutes, butterfly, Botox, even his condition is in. The traps are impressive too. Maybe even better at the top point of view, not the lower half of Dorian Yates. But you look at the lats, they're not very symmetrical, but they are pretty much gone compared to what he had a couple of years prior to this. I mean, not even close. Yates, this is darn near close to being prime Dorian Yates meat. Now, when you look over at poor Jay, he just does not have the traps, the width, maybe the lower half, doing pretty good in the condition aspect, but nothing doing. Jay gets a hard 3rd place. As far as Coleman, for you Colemanites, it is a bitter pill to swallow, but Dorian has his number here. Dorian could probably beat these guys in the rear relaxed position. He actually looks quite good in this rear relaxed position. I wanted to get one of all of the guys, but I couldn't find 2 good poses of Jay and Ronnie. But yes, Dorian, I think he's doing enough. What about the rear double biceps? Can Ronnie get an edge on him here? I don't think so. You can see his left lat. It's pretty much gone. Yates was never the most symmetrical in the shot either. You Dorianites, you guys got to face that fact as well. But still a little bit more symmetrical. And the back is fuller, bigger, harder, grainier. And Jay, his back double, he could kind of get a pass against certain guys. The upper lats are good. The big fingers, as they call them. But the lower lat attachments are just pretty much gone. Pretty much gone. Again, all the while, he's doing a good job here, guys. He's posing to perfection. Good condition for poor Jay Cutler. Is he doing enough, though, to defeat Gray Big Ron? Missized or unsymmetrical lats versus non-existent lats. You tell me. But I can tell you one thing for you Dorianites. It is looking good. But we are not forgetting that Elephant Man reference at the start. And that was a little inappropriate, guys. I apologize. Here's the abs and thigh. Oh my goodness. Look at Yates. It looks like an old Bantees rooster. One of those street roosters. Me and my blokes, we go to a cat house. Maybe 2. Yates, him and his blokes. They were going to a party. And they hauled out their They're things, and that's why he went to prison. We like to show everybody what we have. Yeah, we don't want to see it. I think he changed his ways, though, guys. He did the hucklebuck. Him and his buddies, him and his blokes doing a hucklebuck, and they got arrested. It was bad enough that they put him away. So it must have been really indecent exposure. But sorry. Yates winning the abs and thigh. Look it up. I'm not making that up. The Wang was involved. Jay Cutler, is he beating Yates? Can't get that story out of my head now. Terrible. And they made him Olympia champion. They must have buried that story, hadn't they? Just trying to show them my muscle. Here is the most muscular. And I know, you Dorianites will be the first ones to point out that this was not a mandatory shot back in 1997. But still, he looks pretty good. Oh, torn bicep or not, he is pretty shredded to the diced, and the angle of the shot, taking away his true width, still has a big old Banty's roadrunner head. He's running the roads. Should have been at home doing your studies. So Coleman, is this an easy win for him? I don't know, guys. That midsection looks pretty squishy, squishy, wishy-washy, even, compared to Jay's and even the Dorian. This Battle and Brit, they both have a pretty supreme six-pack. So, at the end of the day, guys, this is a jiggity-janked matchup. Yates, he has that torn bicep, I am well aware. Coleman, his lat's all torn up. Calf withered away, one of them. And Jay, I mean, we can't really get mad at him. I guess his lats were gone from the back. So in all cases, all three cases, these guys are a little bit battle-torn and jiggity-janked. But at the end of the day, these are my placings, and I am not putting too much heart and soul into my placings for this one. Dorian Yates, aside from that bicep, looked pretty good. You know, front lat spread. He was winning a decent amount of shots, including both back shots. I think that was the clincher, and he pulled off a nice victory in the abs and thigh as well. So yes, condition, overall package, I guess, which sounds ridiculous when you think about it. But I mean, Coleman, he was no Michelangelo's David, things of that nature. One torn lat, you could definitely see from the front. Calf, one of his calves were withered away a little bit. In the midsection, he was doing good, I think, to get second prize in this one. And as far as Jay Cutler is concerned, well, I didn't really want to be that big in 2013. And that's true. He was downsized, I believe. Looked like he was in the 230s, for goodness sakes. Well, he was only 245 or something, 249 in 2009, 260 in 2005. Seriously, he wasn't that heavy in 2009. Look it up. So he was downsized again in 2013. And Yates, can't tell from this picture here because of the angle, but he was maybe at his all-time heaviest in 1997. Like almost 260, I think. So he would have been bigger and more conditioned, I believe, in certain shots than Jay Cutler. Anyway, that's just my opinion. You Colemanites will put him first. You Dorianites will have Dorian first. And is there even Cutlerites? I don't think there is Cutlerites. They should make a few. Jay Cutler's a good man. A damn good man. Hit thumbs up on the video. Have a great one, guys.